You've lost more nights than you'd ever admit, lying awake knowing something isn't right. No need to pretend otherwise, you've felt it. You've closed your eyes with the heavy certainty that today was just a repeat of yesterday. Another empty page in a book you didn't want to be writing. And yet here you are again, stuck in the same cycle, secretly wishing that life might change by itself. Let me break it to you, it won't.
Change doesn't slip quietly into your life. It doesn't knock politely or wait for the perfect moment. Change is forceful, it's invasion, it's upheaval. You either grab it with both hands or it never arrives. There is no comfortable middle ground. Keep stalling, keep distracting yourself, and you'll remain exactly where you've been. Unfulfilled, restless, and painfully aware of it. You know the feeling I'm talking about. The weight that settles in your chest when you turn off the light and face the silence. You don't need me to prove it to you, but instead of confronting it, you lie to yourself. I'll start tomorrow. Now isn't the right time. I just need to fix one more thing first. And so another day slips past. Another year disappears. But hear me clearly. Tonight does not have to be another repetition. Tonight can be the shift. Not because fate has chosen you, not because the universe owes you a sign, but because you choose to make it different. Right here, right now, without waiting for approval. And if you think your story is already set in stone, you're wrong. You can flip the script. You can step out of the background and finally claim the role of the main character in your own film. But there's a price: truth. The method is raw and simple: paper, a pen, and silence. That's all you need. Not another guru. Not another motivational book. Not another excuse. Just the courage to sit down and write. Write everything. What you're doing wrong. Where you've failed. Every fear, every excuse, every self-sabotage. No filters. No sugarcoating. Because that's the real reason you don't change. You don't want to look at yourself with brutal honesty. You avoid the mirror instead of facing it. Nietzsche said it well: become who you are. But to become that person, you first have to discover who you really are, and that requires dissecting every mistake, every fear, every doubt without anesthesia. And yes, it hurts. It's supposed to. Pain is the scalpel of self-awareness, and you've been running from it, burying it under noise, shallow entertainment, distractions. But ignoring it doesn't make it vanish. Nothing shifts until you rip off the blindfold and look directly at the mess. And let's be honest, beneath the surface, it is a mess. But here's the good news. Disasters can be rebuilt. Errors can be corrected. Narratives can be rewritten. Think about Tarantino. No industry connections. No clear path. But he had an obsession, a story he needed to tell. Not the story others expected, not the one society tried to hand him, but his. That's why his work cut through. And you? Whose script are you living? Yours, or one forced on you by other people's expectations? The ones who break free are those who stare unflinchingly at reality. They don't soften it. They don't excuse it. They confront it with raw honesty. So here's your assignment. Tonight, when the world is asleep, sit down and write. Write everything that's been holding you back. Every fear, every poor decision, every excuse. Write until it hurts, and when it hurts, keep going. Then look for answers. Not perfect answers. Not complete solutions. Just one concrete decision you can act on tomorrow. Don't wait until the fear vanishes. It won't. Don't wait until you feel ready. You never will. Fear doesn't go away first, you move first and fear follows. That's the hidden truth. Change doesn't happen in grand, magical leaps. It begins the moment you decide to face reality with no more excuses. The moment you pick up the pen and take ownership of the narrative. There is no destiny carved in stone, no predetermined ending. Only the story you're bold enough to write, or the one you allow life to write for you. Look around you. Most people never make that choice. They surrender. They drift into jobs they despise, relationships that drain them, habits that kill them slowly. Why? Because at some point they decided not to decide. They let life drag them instead of steering it. They convinced themselves this is just life. But that's the deadliest lie of all. The truth is there are endless versions of you waiting to be created, and which one comes alive depends entirely on what you choose from this point forward. Will you keep being the person who repeats the same patterns? Or will you be the one who takes the pen and edits the damn story? I know what you're thinking. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I don't have clarity. Wrong. What you don't have is the courage to admit the truth you already know. Because deep down, you know exactly what needs to change. The problem isn't ignorance. It's that the answers are painful. Accepting that you've built your own cage means accepting that you could have done better. And that hurts. But that pain is also the doorway. Walk through it and you finally start to move. Most people don't. They drown themselves in distractions and hope time will heal it all. But let me save you the years of regret. Time doesn't heal what you refuse to face. Time just buries all the versions of you that could have existed. That's why silence matters. Think about it, when have you truly learned something about yourself? It wasn't in the middle of noise or scrolling endlessly. It was in solitude, in stillness, at night, when there was nowhere to run from your own mind. That's why the early hours matter. They're the only hours that belong entirely to you. And if the silence scares you, that's proof of exactly what you need to face. The night is your editing room. That's when you cut scenes, rewrite dialogue, reshape your narrative. Tarantino didn't wait for permission. He didn't wait for validation. He wrote, alone. That's the secret, stop waiting. No one is going to hand you the pen. And here's the part people overlook. Change isn't just about adding new habits. It's also about cutting out what's destroying you. You don't build a masterpiece on top of rotten foundations. You edit first. That toxic relationship, that self-destructive habit, that belief that keeps you trapped, they don't belong in your story. Cut them. Delete them. Only then can you create something worth watching. This isn't magic. It isn't feel-good fluff. It's an action plan. A manual. You write it tonight, you face yourself without masks, and tomorrow you live it. Will it fix everything instantly? No, but it will ignite the difference between being just another forgettable character and becoming the kind of protagonist people remember, the kind who changes course when everything looks lost. So ask yourself, are you going to keep being an extra in your own film? Or will tonight be the night you finally sit down and write the role you were meant for? Here's what no one tells you. There is no going back. There's no flashing sign that says now's the time. There are no guarantees. There's only tonight, only this choice. And if you wait too long, you'll wake up one day to realize you've run out of time. That's the real fear, not failing, but realizing you never even tried. And it won't be dramatic. No big soundtrack, no epic climax. Just a series of small compromises that end up as a life you don't even recognize. That's the cage most people die in. But you don't have to. Not if you decide now. Because no one is coming to rescue you. No mentor, no invisible hand, no miracle. The only rescuer you'll ever have is staring at you in the mirror. And that should free you, not frighten you. If you're the problem, you're also the solution. Look around, most people live on autopilot. But if you've made it this far, something inside you already knows you're not built for mediocrity. The only difference between those who rise and those who don't is that the first group acts before they feel ready. They don't wait for fear to vanish. They move despite it. And that's when fear dies. So picture it. Tomorrow looks exactly the same as today. The same excuses, the same problems. A year passes, a decade passes. Nothing has changed. Does that make you sick to your stomach? Good. That means you know the answer already. So do it tonight. Take the notebook. Take the pen. Face the truth you've been dodging. Write down every excuse, every mistake, every scene that doesn't belong in your film. Then cut them. Because in the end, there are only two kinds of people, those who write their own script and those who let the world write it for them. Which one are you? If you're still here, then you already know the truth. You've started rewriting your story, even if only in thought. Now make it real. No more excuses.